Hi guys, Old Niles Thrompton here with a brand new episode of Old Niles Thrompton's Guitar Oddity or Custer's Corners or whatever this show is supposed to be called. I don't know, maybe I'll change the name, just pick a single name, consolidate everything together in 2023, throw another shrimp on the Barbie, shoot the moose from the lodge, open the kimono, etc. Only time will tell. So anyways, I wanted to do a quick video here, considering it's been an age, or rather ages, since I did the last one, and apologies for that. I wanted to wish you all a great 2023, of course, and as well as talking about some of the big changes that have happened in my life as of late that have unfortunately kept me from doing another video. Well, first of all, I moved into a brand new house. That was a major one, an actual house. Also, my dog got fleas, and I briefly considered starting a separate kind of spin-off show, kind of an Old Niles Thrompton's Guitar Oddity and Flea Circus type deal. Of course, I just couldn't get the fleas to do anything. They were just kind of more or less biting and itching, and that was kind of not very desirable. And then I realized that's really what fleas do, and I really had no idea what in the hell a flea circus was anyways. And then shortly after that, I got into a wrestling match with a large man in pink tights in the local forest, some kind of Eastern European wrestler, very bad breath and bad teeth, so I took care of that rather quickly. And I became a trillionaire. And then, of course, I woke up and banged my head on a chin-up bar, which I had unwisely installed at neck level in the door frame of my bedroom. So just word to the wise for the future, if you ever do install a chin-up bar, try not to install it at neck level in your bedroom. That might happen. So, going into 2023, much like yourselves, I've pledged to make a few resolutions here. One is I pledged to have less gas. I had a lot of gas over the holidays, so I just thought you'd like to know that in case you were wondering about the state of my gas. I also pledged to wear more loud, obnoxious, and or offensive shirts, just like the one you see here. And finally, in the new year, I pledge to push for having more quality, excellent build, and delicious, luscious red guitars on the channel. Now, speaking of red guitars, just before the holidays, a viewer reached out to me, and he'd seen my video on the Kramer Focus FTS PCP FDA, whatever the hell that thing was called, the inexpensive Strat copy. And he had purchased himself a version of that somewhere on Black Friday. I can only assume for dirt cheap, considering they're always going on sale. And he reached out to me and said, "Hey, Old Niles Thrompton, if I were to send this to you, could you make a few modifications for me and send it back?" I went to work, and using some parts I had on hand, and a bridge I ordered in, made a few modifications on this guitar, and ladies and gentlemen, here it is! So a few changes on this. I swapped out the old HSS pickguard. I hated the color of that and really didn't like the HSS. I went with the single configuration. Mint green pickguard, which I really like on this, and the black single coil pickups and black knobs, which works well. The Marquet pickup here, of course, is a Seymour Duncan Hot Rails pickup, one of my favorite pickups ever for distortion, paired with the coil cut here, so that's really nice, great combo. And I dropped a Wilkinson full-size block bridge in here. Didn't require a whole lot of routing, just kind of a bit of trimming. And to improve tuning stability at the headstock, I once again went with black Graphtec string trees. And as opposed to trying to scour the internet for hours looking for some halfway decent close-back tuners to replace the usual bullshit tuners they use on these Kramers, I went with a set of decent Wilkinson vintage tuners. They fit fine through the existing tuner holes, but they did come with their own issues.
primary issue. If you look at a guitar that's already been drilled and set for standard vintage tuners, the distance from the middle of one post to the middle of the other is shy of 1 inch. And if we shift over to the Kramer, we find the distance from the middle of one post to the middle of the other is about 1 inch right on. So ultimately, this means there's definitely going to be a bit of a spacing differential between the two. If you look at the back of a headstock of a guitar that's already been set and cut and drilled for vintage keys, spacing is fairly even and it's fairly tight. Not so on the back of the Kramer headstock. If you try to install vintage keys, you can see quite a bit of spacing. It may look a little bit goofy here, so what you got to do is you got to use those little screws for the very top and bottom holes in the top and bottom peg, and then drill some standard pickguard sized holes in between the adjoining pegs and use standard pickguard screws. Now this may look a little bit odd, and I might need to tap the keys a little bit to get the alignment a little more perfect, but it definitely holds those keys in place, and the guy that requested this is going to be pretty happy, I think.
So yeah, if you happen to score one of these very inexpensive, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, Kramer-esque guitars on, Black Friday or Green Tuesday or Blue Monday or whatever sale is going on, yeah, just a couple mod ideas you could possibly do to make that a little bit better than it is. So anyways, folks, I'm hoping to make many more videos in the new year, more than the 5 or 6 or 4, however many I made last year, in what was a very tumultuous 2022 for all of us. And if you guys have any ideas for guitars you'd like to see reviewed, modded, devoured, I mean taken apart and thoroughly examined in depth, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'd love to hear your comments in the comments section. So once again, guys, from myself and my family of modified guitars, I hope you have a dandy new year and that all of your guitar dreams come true in the new year. Thanks again for watching. Keep on playing. Have a great 2023. And keep watching the channel for a whole lot more.